Alright, if you've been following me on my channel, Boys and Toys, as you know, have a special segment to my home improvement that's been going on at my house. I just got installed. Well, not just got, but I have some Andersen windows installed. So the contractor did a great job installing them, but to save some money, I decided to do the interior myself. Now, so what I'm doing, as I showed you, I'm gonna be doing custom molding. But first, before I can do the custom molding, I have to build up this area here. All right. So these windows are a little smaller than the originals that were in here. So as you can see, there's a big gap. So to fill up this gap, I'm using a 2x3s that I showed you guys. There's an image I already did on this end that's there. I'll put up an image on it, but I use those 2x3s to fill up this gap. So what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to figure out the length between the two windows first, which I did, which is 37 inches. So I'm gonna cut that to length, and the width from inside here to this part here, no, to the outside of the drywall, it's, let's just about say 2 inches. All right, or whatever it may be, whatever your inches that you have to figure out. So I'm gonna have to rip those 2x3s 37 inches length, and the width is going to be about 2 inches here. All right, once I get that figured out, then I have to figure out the gap between here and the bottom plate. All right, and I use some special tools to help me get the finishing look I'm looking for. And as you can see over here, I already started on this window. These are the 2x3s, filling up that gap. All right, so, and again, it's insulated behind there, and again, this is it's nice and thick. I'm not to worry about air infiltration getting past this piece of wood because of the density of it. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing. Let's show you how I got it done. And again, the point is to fill up that gap, which I did in this window as you with those 2x3s. All right, to frame it out, and on top of that, then the molding will come on top of that. And this is all going to be painted off-white color. Now, this technique is ideal if you plan on painting. Now, if you want to stain it, I don't recommend it. You're going to have to get pine or cedar or whatever that special wood to take the nice stain out of it. You can stain this, but it's not ideal because you got to see these little pockets here, here. I don't think it's will be a good look. So we're not planning on staining it. We're painting it. Like I said, I'll show you a picture of what I did already in my boys' room. It came out beautiful, and I'm happy I'm doing this because it's saving me a lot of money, and plus it gives me a more custom look to my windows. So let's take a look how it's getting done. Okay, now guys, first thing I'm gonna be doing now is I'm gonna cut the length to what I need to fill up that gap. Now these are the 2x3s I'm using to fill that up. All right, the bottom plate, I will call it, is going to be 37 inches long. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this to length to 37 inches long for the top and bottom of my windows. So once I'm done with that, then I'll take you to the next step of what how we're gonna get we say it's about 2 inches wide. Now I believe this is about 2.5 inches or a little less, so I'm gonna have to rip this down. So what I'm using is my DeWy miter saw. You can use a hand saw, but it's just much easier if you got the proper tools. And again, if you need a good reason to get you a table saw and you want to do custom moldings, get you a table saw. Now I had this for over a good 10 years, all right, and it's still pushing on. Again, I am not a professional contractor. I'm just a DIY person who like to do it himself and enjoy. So got the 2x3 up on my table saw. I'm using a Harbor Freight table legs for table saw stand. Check out my review on this. I think this is an excellent deal for the price. So let me rip this down, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, guys. Now to figure out that the width of my fill-in piece here, all I did just took a simple combination square here, butt it against this wall, and when the end reaches there, that'll give me my how wide my um, wood should be, and that's simply how I figured it out. All right, so checking you can use tape measure, but I think this is the easiest way. You can cheat it, you can lock it in. So this is gives me how wide now my piece of wood needs to be. So I already cut it the length, which is 37. So the width is what this is locked to be. It's a little less than, look like 1 3/4, I believe, which it really doesn't matter because it's already locked in. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna simply take this measurement and transfer it to my table saw, which I'm gonna show you right now. All right, guys. Now, what I'm gonna do now next to rip this down. This is already cut down to 37 inches. All right, in length. That 2x3. So, as we say, what you can do if you don't have a table saw, you can rip this down with a circular saw. All you have to do is take your measurements, transfer them over to your piece of stock, make a line from here to here, make a straight line, and you can cut it with a circular saw. But again, if you're looking for an excuse to pick up some twos, it's always good to have a table saw. All right, I picked up this one over here is a Porter cable. Picked it up at I believe it was Lowe's a few years ago when I first moved into my house. I believe I had it for quite a while, and it's ideal. It's ideal for the DIY users. The engine is not that that powerful, but for my work, it suffice. All right. So all I have to do now is just take, again, it's already locked in. All I have to do is just measure my rip fence to my blade, and all I have to do is just put it up against my blade as such, so it's pretty much is in sync or parallel with my blade. And all I have to do is now pull my rip fence closer to my to the butt against this. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set that up now to get the proper distance, and then I'm gonna rip this 2x3 to the proper width. All right, guys, I got my rip fence set up to the proper distance width to rip up my 2x3. I made a little mark up here indicating to make sure I'm online. I double checked it, triple checked it, and it's good to go. If you're gonna be using this technique as far as making wood, when you pick up your stock, all right, as you know, this piece of wood is not perfect at all. All right, it's the cheapest thing that's out there. It's got a lot of imperfections. So what you do, you try to pick up some that not so many knots, not so many grinds, and then before I cut, I try to examine it to see which one has the better finish or the better profile, because that's what's going to be exposed toward the room. So I decided to cut this piece off because it doesn't have that too many divots in it. So, and it'll be easy painted over with the paint. So, just a quick tip on how I'm doing it. Again, it may be different techniques out there, but this is how I found success for me. So, again, taking the 2x3, gonna rip it down to the proper width. Now, I'm not going to videotape that. I'm just cutting a piece of wood, so I don't think you need to see that. So once I rip this down, this is the bottom, and I'll do the second piece over here will be the top, and then we'll go to the next step. All right. So let me get that done. All right, guys. Just got finished ripping the wood, and as you can see, it's spot on. You can take a gauge, put it up there, and you can see it's right on. I also have what I did. I ended up transferring the measurements to this. This is the measurement I got, and what you can do, again, bring it up here, it's spot on. All right, so the cut is good. And so I'm gonna do that twice, I mean another time for the top and bottom. So that'll give me my length and the width that's gonna fit up in there. All right, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this back upstairs. I'm gonna test fit it to see how it looks, and then I'm gonna come back down and I'm gonna show you the next phase on getting this prepared. Because right now it's kind of rough looking. All right, before I install it. All right, so let me get that done and continue to the next step.